Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Now today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be simulating the NBA playoffs in 2K. The playoff bracket just went live a couple hours ago after the Memphis and Dallas play-in game. Now that the bracket is set, the bracket is ready, and I want to do this video because we haven't done it, and I'm excited because this is actually probably one of my favorite brackets that the playoffs have had, and my team that I've been a fan of is in it. The Warriors is in it this year. Don't know if we're gonna make it past the semis. That's a whole nother story. But anyways, we got all of this to simulate, and then we are going to go into Simcast and simulate the finals and maybe the conference finals too. Um, and go a little bit slower through that. But we're going to go through everything, analyze it all, and simulate the entire series. So for everyone, and hopefully it ends in a realistic way. I hope we're not going to see something like the Rockets versus Indy or something like that, or the Pistons versus the Lakers. Like, actually, that could, I don't know. But anyways, um, yeah. So we are going to start. I'm just gonna make sure I have the. Okay, so it's Pistons. Let's simulate through their first game. And then we got Indy. Wait, who is the last game? I just want to know. Clippers and Nugs. Okay, so this is the last game. So let's simulate through all of these games. All of the game ones. That did not work actually. Okay, so this is all the game ones. Okay. So, game ones, we got OKC, Denver, Minnesota, Warriors. We got Orlando, New York, Indy, and Cleveland winning. So what I see is the biggest upset so far is Orlando and Minnesota. So far, but everything else looks pretty realistic, I'd say. Simulate through again. And okay. Now this actually looks kind of odd right here, the Lakers and Minnesota, but 2-0 Memphis down. Tied at 1 apiece for Denver and the Clippers. Minnesota up 2 over the Lakers. Golden State up 2 to the Rockets. And then Cavs up 2, no surprise. Indy up 2, kind of a surprise. And then New York up 2, and then Boston tied at 1. Let's go to game 3. CPU again. Oh my gosh. Jeez, injuries. Okay. OKC almost sweeping. Denver wins game 3. Minnesota wins game 3. They are just absolutely blowing out the Lakers right now. Warriors win game 3. Orlando wins game 3. They're up 2-1 over Boston. Okay. New York's up 3. Indy's up 3. And then Cleveland, no surprise, is up 3. Game 4, we're probably going to get a few sweeps here. Detroit have been eliminated. The Bucks have been eliminated. The Heat have been eliminated. The Rockets have been eliminated. And that is where it stands after the first 4 games already. We have 4 teams already advancing. So the sweeps that happened was Cleveland, Indy, New York, and Golden State all sweeping their opponents. And this is actually pretty good so far. I'd say this is definitely the most realistic so far. The only thing I would maybe tweak would be the Boston and Lakers series. There's no way the Lakers come back, right? And then this could still be 4-2, which would be maybe reasonable and realistic. But anyways, let's simulate game 5s now. The Lakers have been eliminated. That is the biggest upset probably this entire video we're going to see. But yeah, Doncic and James both eliminated by Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves. And then that is it. That's the only one that moves on to the next round for game 5. So we have a lot of game 6s, it looks like. And in fact, we have 3 game 6s. So we have OKC up 3-2 over Memphis, Denver up 3-2 over the Clippers, and then over here on the east side, we have Boston up 3-2 over the Magic. So I'm guessing we're gonna see maybe 1 or 2, maybe all of the game 6s to finalize, and everyone advances. We'll see here though. So let's have the CPU. Clippers have been eliminated. Magic have been eliminated, and the Grizzlies have been eliminated. Okay. So the only thing that I would say that's actually not bad about this would be, I know a lot of people could argue the Clippers could beat Denver, because I actually kind of believe that that could happen this year. But Denver's good too. The only thing that I would just backtrack about that is that they lost their coach, so maybe that would affect them. But I don't know. I think Denver's still a really good team. But this is just the worst because like the Lakers versus the Warriors would feed families. That's what the comment sections would say. They would feed family. But anyways, Minnesota Warriors, that's still good, but Lakers getting 4-1 by the Wolves in the first round. We saw the Wolves do it last year against Phoenix. Just like, dang, okay. But not bad. This is East Side is definitely the most realistic for sure. Maybe not the 4-0 sweep over Milwaukee and Detroit, but you know, it's fine. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. We got simulate through all this. Okay, this one's gonna be the full. Alright, so game 1's for the semis. We have Denver over OKC. We have Minnesota over Golden State. We have Indy over Cleveland, and we have Boston over New York. Not bad. I would say this one. I mean, it's only game 1, so I can't say much yet. Simulate through another one. Oh, okay, dang. Every team came back that lost game 1. Came back with a very, very good redemption game. So all tied for every series. Forced to game 5. There's going to be no sweeps. Indy beat Cleveland. Boston beat New York. Warriors beat Minnesota. And Denver beat OKC. Okay, this is not bad. I would say maybe OKC. I don't know. That's actually a pretty good series now that I think about it. OKC and Denver. I'm not gonna lie, the West has literally the best series ever. No bias, because I'm a Warriors fan. No bias. But anyways, game 3's now. Or sorry, no, game 4's now that are over. Denver up 3-1 OKC. Tied between Golden State and Minnesota. 3-1 with Boston over New York, and 3-1 Indy over Cleveland. How in the world is, like, this is the most realistic. This one, kind of, I could see. This one and this one, no. There's no way. Alright, here we go. Let's see, does anyone get eliminated? Wow. Indy nearly swept the Cavs 4-1, and Cleveland has been eliminated. Indy is waiting for Boston at home. That is insane. Okay, we're going to get most likely an Indy-Boston and most likely a Minnesota-Denver. I'm excited. This is actually looking pretty good. All right, let's simulate, I guess this game. That should do it all. Okay, dang. Every team won in game 6. So the series are all tied. Denver had a 3-1 advantage over OKC. Now they are tied for a game 7. So OKC getting a very good comeback. Warriors win game 6, so now that's a game 7 coming. And then New York beat Boston, so that's a game 7. So this is actually very close, I'm not going to lie. We could go, honestly, we could go Simcast for all of these games since it's semis. Let's go Simcast, see who wins this game. Looks like it's the Wolves. Not going to say too early, but yep, Golden State has been eliminated. Wow. Minnesota wins. Okay, now let's go to this game. See who wins this one. It's looking to be Boston, but New York kind of got close.
A wake-up alarm set for 6:45 a.m. Currently off.
What? New York lost. Oh my god. Siri, bro. Always creeping up on me. Alright. Now we got Indy and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals yet again. I think that's the second year in a row. Right. Yeah, I think. And then this is a big game. We have Denver. We have OKC. Who will win? OKC is in front. Denver's fighting back. Denver wins! The Thunder had the lead until the very end. And Denver fought all the way and wins Game 7. Wow. What a fight from the Nuggets. So we got Denver, Minnesota, and Boston, Indy. Okay. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's Indy and it's the Celtics. And Game 1 is going to go to the Pacers. Wow. 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 Oh, nice sneeze down there. Alright, let's look at the box score. So, Jaylen Brown got 23 in Game 1. Pascal Siakam was the league leader of that game, or the team leader for that game, with 14. By the way, we're playing 8-minute quarters. 8-minute quarters, sorry. 8-minute quarters for the games. Alright, now let's go over here to Game 1 of this series, the Western Conference Finals. And Denver wins by 6 over the T-Wolves. Wow. So 1-0 Denver, 1-0 Indy. What do we have going on here? This is actually pretty crazy. Let's see who will win this one. Game 2. It is Indy in front. Boston's fighting back. They have the lead now, fighting, and couldn't survive. That one came down to the last second. The very last wire. Wow. Indy wins by 3. That was crazy. Crazy. These games are all really close. Okay, we got game number 2. Minnesota has the clear advantage and will go right through Denver for game 2. And they just absolutely decimate the Nuggets. Like, decimate the Nuggets. Winning by 35. Or, excuse me, 25. Like, bro, oh my god. Game 3 for the Eastern Conference Finals. Indy in front again. Can they pull this one off? They do. Indy is in front 3-0. They just beat the Celtics by 10, up 3-0 right now. The Pacer fans, where are you at right now? Comment below if you are a Pacer fan, because this is actually crazy. I did not expect I love watching Tyrese Halliburton. So having Indy beaten Boston like this, because I do not like Boston, no offense, but like you guys win way too much. I would love someone new. So Indy, please take that seat. Yes, I'm enjoying this. Really enjoying this. Okay, Simcast for game 3. Excuse me. Game 3, Wolves and Nuggets battling it out, and the Wolves win. Wow, Randall 25 points leads the Timberwolves The win over the Nuggets. Wow. 6-point win. That game was tight. All these games are really tight. Now, does Boston have the comeback in them? They have to win 4 in a row before Indy wins 1. Indy starting off strong yet again. Celtics fighting. And Boston wins by just 3. Just 3 points. Oh my god. 88-85. The Celtics battled their way. Got the win by just 3. Now, Boston can hold their breath for a few more days and then play again and hopefully get their next win. T-Wolves in front. Nuggets nearly came back there. Second half was all Denver, it looked like. Wow. Wow. All right, 3-1 Minnesota, 3-1 Indy. Does Denver and Boston have enough in them to bring something that no team has ever done, which is a comeback down 3-0? Boston right now, though, making it happen. 73-68 win over the Pacers. And now it's 3-2 series. Indy starting to get very nervous because Boston does not mess around. Here we go, game 4. Sorry, game 5. My pardon. And the Nuggets have been eliminated. The Wolves send Denver out over the Nuggets, and the NBA Finals is where the T-Wolves are heading to. So we got the Wolves, and then we have the Boston Celtics or the Indiana Pacers, whatever you want to call them, coming to town versus Minnesota. It'll be either it'll be Eastern team that has home court because T-Wolves are the 6th seed. So that's just a good heads up. Here we go. Indy trying to get Boston out for sure. And they do. So Boston does not have enough to bring the comeback back. And Julius Randle wins Western Finals MVP. And then Eastern Finals MVP is Tyrese Halliburton for Indiana. Wow. All right. So this is the series. It's Minnesota and the Pacers. This is not what I expected. I expected something like Boston Lakers, Cavs Lakers, Cavs Warriors, any Thunder, like not the Pacers or the T-Wolves. This is very surprising. But I guess the NBA is the NBA. It could be anyone. All right, here we go. Game number 1. We are going to add time. 10-minute quarters. So the scoring is a little bit high. Game 1 goes to the Timberwolves. I apologize. I accidentally skipped it. It's in the Simcast. T-Wolves win game number 1. 119-74. Holy moly. The leading score for the T-Wolves was Julius Randle with 47. Bro does not get those numbers in real life, but holy, what a game for him. All right. Game 2 of the NBA Finals. It is the Pacers in full advantage. T-Wolves fighting back and nearly actually came back and won. That would have been insane. Toppin had 20, just barely past Minnesota after they nearly came back. Toppin with 20, and then for the T-Wolves, DiVincenzo and Randle combined for 38. That is crazy numbers. Okay, game 3. Close one here. It is the Pacers in front. And they are going to win game number 3. Pacer Nation. How in the world are you in game 3 in front? beating the Wolves by 9 in the finals. This is crazy. 2-1. Game number 4, we got the Wolves. They are absolutely demolishing right now. And it is all T-Wolves here for game 4. Wow, 65-107. I mean, that is insane. What an answer from the Wolves. Who got the highest score in that game? It's Julius Randle with 33. Anthony Edwards with 22. 0 for 6 from deep for Edwards, by the way. Alright. Cutting it close. Game number 5, I think. 5, yeah. This one's very close. This is a very tight game. And the winner is the T-Wolves, 106-91. Randle with 33 again. And the win over the Pacers. So, can the Pacers make it a game 7, or are the Wolves going to win the NBA Finals? This could be the game. Wolves in front. They're absolutely demolishing them. We're going to lower it down a little bit. Go a little slow. Looks like the T-Wolves are going to win this. They are in front, and they do. 109-77. The T-Wolves are your NBA championship team for the 2025 finals. Wow. And the MVP is none other than Julius Randle with an average of 29.2 points, 8.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, a steal, half a block, 62% field goal percentage, 70% free throw percentage, and 35% from deep. That is crazy. If we would override, it would be either Halliburton or Edwards. But wow, what a game and what a series. So here is the bracket, the final bracket on 2K. If you guys want to see this again with like anything else, I could do like the old-fashioned teams in a playoff bracket. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section down below, or by hitting the like button or subscribe button. Subscribe if you're new. And if you guys want to see more 2K videos, make sure to comment down below and hit the like button, because I will gladly do that for you guys. Just let me know. Anyways, catch you guys next time for another video. I don't know if it'll be at Fortnite, 2K, whatever game it will be. I'll see you guys then. Peace.